Have you ever wondered why you feel like you're falling, constantly weak, even though you eat healthy, take supplements, and exercise? The answer could be sarcopenia, a very common condition in adults over 60. Sarcopenia is the process by which your muscles get smaller and weaker as you age. And no, it's not just normal aging, it's your body losing muscle mass at a much faster rate than it can rebuild it. Imagine your muscles slowly shrinking, day after day, even if you can't see it. This turns everyday tasks into real challenges, getting up from a chair, carrying groceries, or simply keeping your balance when you walk. Recent research is alarming. It suggests that older adults can lose a significant percentage of their muscle mass each year. This means that almost half of your strength could disappear in just 12 months if you don't take the right action. For that reason, in this video, we will show you 5 foods you should add to your breakfast tomorrow morning, and every morning, if you don't want to lose any more muscle. The 5th one is so effective that traditional Chinese medicine recommends it to all their elderly patients. And the promise of this video is simple. By the end, you will know exactly what to do to look and feel 40 again. This promise is based on the analysis of the work of experts like Dr. Thompson, a researcher who has studied thousands of older patients struggling with sarcopenia. By observing their lifestyles and tracking their diets, he discovered surprising patterns. Over 85% of the cases studied showed significant results after including the 5 foods we'll talk about in a minute. Before we begin, we'd love to know where you're watching from and how old you are. What problems with strength loss have you noticed? Leave us a comment. We'll be reading them. To understand how to recover your muscles, we first need to know how they work. When you sleep, your muscles enter a 2-step cycle. First, they repair the micro tears from the day. It sounds bad, but it's actually what drives growth. Second, your body, detecting this damage, goes into full repair mode, rebuilding the fibers thicker and stronger than before. But here's the part most people forget. This repair process cannot happen without the right fuel in the morning. You need certain foods that act as the building blocks for new muscles, and most of this rebuilding happens right after breakfast. If you don't eat the right things, you are robbing your muscles of the chance to grow. The most common mistake is feeding your muscles the wrong foods when you wake up. So before we reveal the 5 foods you should eat, let's unmask the 5 foods you should never include in your breakfast if you don't want to keep losing your strength. Number 1. White bread. Here's what happens when you eat white bread in the morning. The moment it hits your stomach, it breaks down into pure sugar and floods your bloodstream. Your body panics and releases massive amounts of insulin to control this sugar spike. The problem is that high insulin levels, as experts like Dr. Thompson warn, block your muscles' ability to use protein for repair. It's like putting a lock on your muscle-building factory right when it needs to work the most. But the most shocking information is this. White bread doesn't just stop muscle growth, it accelerates its breakdown. When your blood sugar crashes after that initial spike, your body, desperate for energy, starts breaking down your own muscle tissue. You are literally eating away your muscles with every slice. Observational studies have followed groups of older adults for years. The results suggest an alarming correlation. Those who consumed white bread daily for breakfast lost 23% more muscle mass compared to those who avoided it. Let's consider the archetype of Margaret, a 62-year-old woman. She struggled with classic sarcopenia symptoms. She couldn't get up from a chair without using her arms, felt unsteady while walking, and was constantly tired. Her quick and easy daily breakfast was a couple of slices of white toast with butter. She thought it was a practical choice, but that bread was, day after day, weakening her muscles. When she eliminated that simple food and replaced it with muscle-building options, her life changed. In just a few weeks, she regained energy, strength, and most importantly, her independence. Number 2. Coffee. What happens when the first thing you do upon waking is have a cup of coffee on an empty stomach? That caffeine triggers your adrenal glands, releasing a massive surge of cortisol, the stress hormone. And cortisol is your muscle's worst enemy. When cortisol levels spike without any food in your system, your body thinks it's in survival mode. And what does it do? It starts breaking down your muscle tissue to convert it into glucose for emergency energy. But the information few people know is even more serious. That morning, coffee ritual doesn't just break down muscle. It prevents your body from building new muscle for the next 6 hours. The cortisol spike blocks a key muscle-building hormone called IGF-1. So, even if you eat protein later, your muscle-building machinery stays switched off because of that morning mistake. Studies have observed older adults who drank coffee on an empty stomach every morning. The results were concerning. They lost 22% more muscle mass compared to those who ate something before their coffee or avoided it in the morning. Researchers call this chronic muscle catabolism, a state where the body continuously breaks down muscle. The case of James, a 62-year-old security guard, is a clear example. He worked 2 shifts, slept little, and depended on 6 to 8 cups of coffee a day, always on an empty stomach. He began to experience such severe muscle weakness that he could barely do his job. When he discovered that his coffee habit was destroying his muscles, he felt it was too late. But by adjusting his diet and starting to eat nutrient-rich breakfasts, his life turned around. He now has the energy to work full shifts and even coach his grandson's baseball team. Now, the next food will surprise you because many believe it's a smart, protein-rich breakfast choice. In fact, other doctors or nutritionists have probably told you it's good for you. Number 3. Processed meats. What they don't tell you is the dark secret hiding inside this breakfast staple. A chemical compound that is silently destroying your muscle fibers from the inside out, even as you think you're feeding them. I'm talking about bacon, sausage, and ham that millions of people choose for a quick protein breakfast. Here's what really happens. Within 30 minutes of eating that crispy strip of bacon, the nitrates and nitrites used to preserve it convert in your stomach into inflammatory compounds called nitrosamines. These toxic chemicals flood your bloodstream and head straight for your muscle tissue, where they trigger massive inflammation. It's as if tiny explosions are going off inside your muscles every time you eat processed meat. But the most shocking information is that these nitrates don't just cause inflammation. They hijack your muscle's repair system and turn it against you. Nitrosamines damage the mitochondria, the power plants of your muscle cells. Without functioning mitochondria, your muscles can't produce energy or repair themselves. A long-term study that followed older adults who ate processed meats at least 4 times a week yielded devastating results. They experienced 33% more muscle deterioration compared to those who avoided them. The researchers coined the term chronic muscle inflammation syndrome. Consider Sarah, a 67-year-old retired teacher. She suffered from such severe muscle weakness, she could barely sign her name. She was terrified. In her consultation, her breakfast routine was discovered. Every morning for 12 years, she ate 2 strips of bacon and a sausage patty, thinking she needed the protein to stay strong. She didn't realize those processed meats were flooding her system with nitrates, systematically destroying her muscles. Months after eliminating that habit, she was like a different person. She now volunteers at community centers and has started taking dance classes, all because she stopped poisoning her muscles with that morning bacon. Number 4. Oatmeal with skim milk. This food might be the most shocking of all because it's marketed as the perfect healthy breakfast for seniors. But what they don't tell you is that this combination could be starving your muscles, depriving them of the essential nutrients they need to survive and grow. When you remove the fat from milk, you don't just remove calories, you remove the delivery system your body needs to absorb crucial muscle-building vitamins like A, D, E, and K. They are fat-soluble vitamins, meaning without fat, they just pass right through your system unused. Your muscles are literally starving for these nutrients. But the information that will leave you cold is this. Skim milk not only fails to deliver vitamins, but it can also leach calcium and magnesium from your existing muscle tissue. The processing that removes fat creates an imbalanced protein structure that your body can't properly utilize. To process this incomplete protein, your body has to rob minerals from your own muscles. A study followed 1,900 older adults who ate oatmeal with skim milk daily. The results were alarming. They lost 29% more muscle mass compared to those who used whole milk. The researchers called it nutrient malabsorption syndrome. The case of Dorothy, a 69-year-old retired bank manager, is revealing. She was obsessed with eating healthy. Every morning for 15 years, she would have a large bowl of oatmeal with skim milk because her cardiologist had recommended it. But she felt weaker and weaker. After switching from skim milk to whole milk and adding other muscle-building foods, her life transformed. She now works part-time as a personal shopper, a job that requires walking for miles and carrying heavy bags. Number 5. Refined cereals. The final food on this list is in 90% of households and is probably in your pantry right now. You grab it when you're in a hurry. You trust it because the box says, fortified with vitamins. Here's what happens when you eat cereal in the morning. Your body desperately searches for the essential amino acids it needs to repair muscle after the overnight fast. The problem is that refined cereals contain incomplete proteins, missing critical amino acids. When your muscles can't find these building blocks, they panic and start breaking down existing muscle tissue to get them. You are forcing your body to cannibalize itself. And here's the worst part. Refined cereals not only lack amino acids, but they also contain anti-nutrients, like phytates and lectins, which block the absorption of amino acids from other foods you eat throughout the day. A large-scale study that followed 2,500 seniors who ate refined cereals daily was devastating. They experienced 37% more muscle deterioration. The researchers called it protein starvation syndrome. The case of Harold, a 71-year-old retired carpenter, illustrates this perfectly. He could no longer do the woodworking projects he loved because his hands would shake. His breakfast, for 20 years, was 2 bowls of bran cereal with low-fat milk. He didn't realize those refined flakes were starving his muscles. When he eliminated cereals and switched to the foods we're about to see, he got his craftsman's hands back and the strength he had in his 50s. Now that you know the 5 breakfast foods that have been weakening your muscles, it's time for the good news. What we're about to share are the 5 most powerful muscle-building foods that can reverse sarcopenia and restore the strength you thought was gone forever. These are not random foods. They are scientifically proven muscle builders, affordable and available at your local grocery store. Are you starting to realize why you might be losing muscle despite doing everything you thought was right? If this information is helping you, please hit that subscribe button. It takes us hours to research and create these videos, and your subscription tells us you value this information. It only takes a second, but it helps us reach more people who desperately need this knowledge. Here are the 5 breakfast foods that will help you feel 40 again. Number 1, Greek yogurt. Do you know what happens when you eat plain Greek yogurt in the morning? Within 15 minutes, your digestive system breaks it down into a flood of high-quality amino acids that rush directly to your muscle fibers. Greek yogurt contains an incredible 20 grams of complete protein per cup, double that of regular yogurt. But what makes it special is its high leucine content, the master amino acid that literally switches on your body's muscle-building machinery. A study that followed 1,200 people aged 65 to 75 who added Greek yogurt to their daily breakfast for 12 months showed remarkable results. They gained an average of 18% more lean muscle mass. For maximum benefits, always choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. The fat helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. Add a handful of nuts, and if you need sweetness, use fresh berries instead of honey. Number 2, eggs. The moment you consume this incredible food, your body receives all 9 essential amino acids in perfect proportions, making eggs the gold standard of complete proteins. Plus, they are loaded with vitamin D, which acts like a hormone that tells your muscles to absorb more protein and grow stronger. A study tracking 1,800 adults aged 60 to 80 who ate 2 whole eggs every morning for 14 months was astounding. They experienced a 24% increase in muscle protein synthesis and gained an average of 2.3 pounds of lean muscle mass. To make the most of it, always eat the whole egg. The yolk contains half the protein and all the vitamin D. Number 3, avocado. Within 20 minutes of consuming this superfood, your body receives a powerful dose of monounsaturated fats that act as a delivery system for muscle-building nutrients. They are packed with potassium, more than bananas, which prevents cramps and maintains proper muscle contraction. Furthermore, the healthy fats in avocado stimulate the production of testosterone and growth hormone, essential for building muscle. A study with 1,400 seniors who added half an avocado to their daily breakfast showed a 19% improvement in muscle protein synthesis and much faster recovery. To enjoy it, mash half an avocado with a pinch of salt and spread it on your eggs, or add it to your Greek yogurt. Number 4, lean meats like turkey or chicken. Within 45 minutes, these foods break down into a powerful stream of the highest quality amino acids. A 4-ounce serving of turkey or chicken breast provides 35 grams of pure, bioavailable protein. What makes them special for older adults is that they're packed with creatine, a natural compound that increases muscle strength and power, and B vitamins that help convert protein into actual muscle tissue. Research involving 2,100 older adults who included lean meat in their breakfast was extraordinary. They gained an average of 3.1 pounds of lean muscle mass and showed a 31% improvement in muscle strength. Now, before I reveal the last food, the one that traditional Chinese medicine doctors have been using for centuries, we'd like to know which of these four surprised you the most. Comment below, and if you're finding value in this information, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. Number 5. Nuts and seeds. The moment you consume these nutritional powerhouses, your body receives a unique combination of plant-based protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals that work in perfect symphony. The healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, reduce inflammation in your muscle tissue, creating the ideal environment for growth. But the secret weapon is magnesium and zinc, two minerals that directly activate over 300 enzymes involved in muscle protein synthesis. A study that followed 1,650 older adults who added a handful of nuts and seeds to their daily breakfast had remarkable results. They showed a 22% increase in muscle protein synthesis rates and much faster recovery times. For maximum benefit, choose raw, unsalted varieties like almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and chia seeds. We know some people will watch this video and go right back to what's easy and comfortable. They'll keep eating their white bread and sugary cereals because change feels hard. But not you, right? You are going to apply this information, stay consistent with these foods, and come back to tell us how much stronger you feel. If this video has opened your eyes and you now have a clear action plan, the least you can do is hit that subscribe button. We've just given you information that could literally transform your life. Subscribing is free, it takes 1 second, and it helps us continue creating life-changing content. Please subscribe now, and we'll see you in the next video.